The dark clouds drizzled misty rain as Ben Reese stepped off the curb into a crosswalk and jogged across the street. Downtown Roseville was a suburban paradise that lacked the bumper-to-bumper traffic and tall buildings of neighboring Sacramento. He hated commuting, which is why he'd been excited to take a position at Kilburn Marketing, an up-and-coming marketing firm 15 minutes from his new home. It was a far cry from his native Boston, but he expected to like the mild winters of Northern California. Not to mention it took him 3,000 miles away from the heartbreak and drama he'd left behind. As he passed by the window display of the local bank, he chuckled at the falling leaves painted on the glass. It was mid-November, that time of year when everyone was uploading posts about what they were thankful for to Instagram, just biding time until they could put up their Christmas trees. He wouldn't be doing any of that this year. In fact, he'd given up social media before making the big move from the east to the west coast, and it had done wonders for his peace of mind. While he knew it was an essential tool from a marketing standpoint, he didn't feel the need to chronicle his day via stylish pictures and goofy storytime videos, especially since he didn't have much going on except for work and home improvements on his new place. His office was a few blocks down on the left, but since it was Saturday, he wasn't heading there today. He'd come downtown to see how his new campaign was doing. The city had hired Kilburn Marketing to bring more bustle to downtown Roseville this holiday season by drawing attention to the events and unique businesses along the strip. Ben had skimmed through the list of shops on the main stretch and picked out what he hoped was a solid first spotlight, and he wanted to check out the response to this morning's ad. He rounded the corner onto 2nd Avenue, and a wave of triumph washed over him. A line of people 25 deep stretched out along the sidewalk, waiting for Meow and Furrever Cat Café to open. The little pastry shop advertised gourmet coffee drinks, fun merch, and time spent with adoptable cats. His colleague Will Schwartz had dropped in last week to snap a few pictures of the place and its inhabitants for their first downtown feature. Ben had gone to Children of the Horn instead, a store for musical instruments and other kid-friendly creative outlets, to get an interview with the owner for their second feature, which would drop next week in time for Small Business Saturday. Ben thought he'd gotten the better deal. He'd rather listen to children scream and play out a tune than eat a cat fur pastry and hack up a hairball. While he knew pets were a big deal to some people, Ben didn't understand the appeal of a feline companion. Cats were aloof jerks who got into everything and crapped anywhere they wanted. Dogs could be trained at the very least, although he wasn't into owning any animal if he was being honest. He liked his home quiet and orderly, unless he was using a drill. But the café was an unusual business that Kilburn and the city of Roseville thought would be a good start to the series. Roseville magazine included the ad this morning and offered the chance to win a $50 gift card to anyone who visited and snapped a selfie at the café, as long as they tagged Kilburn and the magazine in their post. Apparently, there were a lot of early birds ready to get that worm. A high-pitched "eep" erupted behind him, and he turned to find a pale woman with copper hair piled high on her head in a messy bun. The collar of a hunter green peacoat was pulled up around her neck, probably to block the sprinkling rain. The thick coat hugged her chest and flared out over her full figure, something Ben could have appreciated if he was in the interested frame of mind. But after his last breakup, women were in the same category as double-stuff Oreos, best avoided, as they did nothing but cause problems for him. He'd devoured packages of the sweet cookie sandwiches in one sitting for several weeks until he couldn't button his pants anymore, and it had taken him twice as long to work off the post-heartbreak weight. He'd always been a big-boned guy, but he'd taken the phrase "eating his feelings" to a whole new level.